Hello and welcome to our podcast, Connecting and Supporting Others. I am Mira Reiss and I am delighted to have you here with us. Enjoy! Hello, welcome everybody. I am very happy to welcome our new guest today. It's Matthew. Welcome, Matthew.
Thanks for having me, Mira. Pleasure to be here.
Matthew is actually one of the members of our Facebook group, Academy of Holistic Freedom, and he's meditation instructor. But maybe it's better when you say about yourself. Please introduce yourself a little bit.
And thanks, Mira. I'm a meditation / breathwork instructor. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and just a little bit of a backstory and how I got to this position in my life and family life. My father's side, very secular. My mother's side, religious. But for me, I chose my own path, and that was a path of self-destruction. I spent my younger years of my life just thinking everything was a joke. And it wasn't really until I met my partner and settled down and had some kids that I grew up a little bit, and I was starting to discover certain things that were, just opened my perspective of things. So for example, my partner, she has many gifts. And one of her gifts is the ability, when she's around people, she can pick up on certain energy. And the more time that she spends with these people, she starts to develop dreams. And these dreams are always warnings. So she, at this time of her life when this was happening, she felt obligated to let these people know what was going on. Now, these people wouldn't take any notice of her. And 9 times out of 10, that information that she's explained to these people would happen. And she steered away from that kind of gift that she had. It was more of a curse to her than it was an ability, and she unfortunately turned away from that. But with my own experience, we live in the very southeast of Australia, so we live in a state called Victoria, and I decided to pack up my family for opportunity and move across the other side of the country to the northwest, which is very hot. So it was quite a transformation coming from that climate to the other. I was a baker by trade, and what we used to do daily was we were located in the Pilbara. That was a little mining town in the desert there, and we used to travel each day 80 k's to another little town, and if we didn't do that, just people wouldn't get their bread for the day, so it was a necessity thing to do. And bakers work throughout the night, early morning, and what we used to do, my son, work colleague, Greg, Jimmy, if you're watching, how you going, mate? We used to travel across the Parabadoo each day, and if time permitted and we're doing okay, we had a little ritual, and that was that we would stop dead bang in the middle, about 40 k's out, and turn off the vehicle and get out and just stare into space. Now, where we were located in the Pilbara is the best view of the Milky Way galaxy in the world. I mean, just down the road, there's a town called Exmouth, and there's a big base there, big US Army base there, pointing all kinds of things out into space, and that's another story for another time, I guess. But that's where we were in the world, and just staring out into space, and there was no light pollution, there was hardly any noise, and it was in that moment that just witnessing and just being in awe that I was truly present, and I found out what present meant for me. I wasn't thinking about things from yesterday, I wasn't thinking about things I had to do the next day. I was just in that moment, I was present. And I started to get intrigued with different things, and one of the people that helped, especially with knowledge of the universe and just all the information I wanted to know, was Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he had this fabulous show called The Cosmos, a beautiful show, and I just really enjoyed that. But then things really started taking off. So I started to get into the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Dr. Joe Dispenza's changed my life. What he does is just Wim Hof's been great with his breath work, and I share a lot of his teachings through my group. People like Bob Proctor, Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, Jim Quick. We have Christopher Duncan here in Australia. He's done some great work in the fields of spirituality and also the conscious mind. Les Brown, and look, even Russell Brand. Now, people just think Russell Brand's just someone that's in movies and a bit of a comedian, but he's much more than that. He's quite an intelligent man, and I find him also fascinating what he has to say. Into the podcast fields of Lewis Howe, Brian Rose, Rob Dial, Aubrey Marcus, but even Brian Scott that I've discovered now, he hosts a show called The Reality Revolution, and it's just fantastic. So what I like to do with all these people I've just mentioned is a concept that I have. It's called pinches of salt. So I try and take the best parts from my learnings, and then I try to share that with my group that I've developed, which is Conscious Living for Life Club group, and just dissect certain parts of all these wonderful people. And a lot of people are unaware of this information that's out there. So my group's all about awareness, letting people know about these guys and their work, and yeah.
Great, thank you. So we can start with our first question, which is actually, what do you think? What is your mission? What is your true calling in your life?
So my mission is all about awareness, inspiration, and knowledge. And you can truly, if you put your mind to it, you can truly accomplish anything. That's pretty much my main statement. But life's all about the choices that we make, and life is also about the experience that we have throughout. And the only way you can truly experience your life the way that you want to experience is by getting uncomfortable and stepping into the unknown. And that's a really hard thing for people to do, especially in the Western world. We all run by, I'm sure it's like this in the world too, a lot of us run by programs. Even I run by a program. And, whether it's working and we're worried about getting things done for other people in our house, whether it be our kids, which is important, which is priority, and we all run by a program. You have a look at your day, you put it together, the programs that you run on a daily basis. But what I try to preach to my group and get them into a practice of doing is just developing a small window, and that small window is called me time. And within that me time, developing tools, skills such as meditation, such as breath work. And something I'm working on at the moment, I have been since the start, especially in group setting meditations when we get together in person, which has been far and few due to the state of the world with the pandemic and coronavirus. Is when we do get together, the first thing that we like to practice, well, that we do practice all the time, is brain and heart coherence. Now, what do I mean by brain and heart coherence? So, thoughts are the language of the mind, and feelings are the experience of the body. Okay, so when you ask a person what's the most important thing in their body, 9 times out of 10 people will say, well, the brain. When your parents went in to see how you were developing as a fetus and growing and whatnot, what's the first thing that they're going to look for on an ultrasound? And it's the beating heart. The heart is so important. I think that we tend to forget about this. And by teaching people about brain and heart coherence, because thoughts, as I said, are the language of the mind, but teaching them to have a clear intention, which is the thought, and an elevated emotion back to your heart. So what happens when you start in this ways of thinking, and it comes into meditation and breathing and whatnot, when the brain and the heart connect and you have that coherence, it develops like a wave, and the wave's very steady and coherent. But unfortunately in today's society, a lot of people are not coherent, and instead of having this wave functioning, it's just sporadic. Now, a lot of people are this way because of one word, and I preach this word to people all the time, and that is stress. Stress is bad. And a lot of us, not just here in the Western world, but probably around the whole world, live in a state of stress. And sometimes you're not even aware that you're living in the hormones of stress, and you unintentionally go through these loop cycles. And what I mean by that is the stress can be as easy as going to work and having to deal with people that you don't want to deal with, or there could be a person within the group of people that you hang around that just causes you to be stressed. Like, it's that easy to get into these loops and not be conscious of that and develop stress in your life. Now, stress leads to one road and one road only. Stress makes you sick. Stress can create diseases. Stress will keep you in lack and separation. Stress is no good. So my practice is all about positivities and flicking that switch and flipping the script to positivity. And the way you think and the way you feel generates your state of being. So it's very important to get the brain correct and the heart in that coherent state, and that's when the magic really starts to happen for people in their lives.
Great, nice mission. Okay, so and when we go to the second question, so you image that you have the superpower, you have time machine, and you can travel back in your life and meet your young version. What kind of advice you will give yourself?
Oh, well, to my younger self, I don't need to be stuck in the middle of a desert to look up to see the sky. The sky is there for everyone. But more in depth, I probably, if I had a conversation, it would be probably around peer pressure. I think I was someone in my younger life that was susceptible to that. But look, it was my choice to be that way and to kind of put myself into certain situations. But the important thing is, and I think it's important for younger people these days to realise, is that you don't need outside validation. The strongest validation that you'll ever get is from yourself. And once you do have that validation, the people that are most important to you will gravitate to you. So, yeah. And look, the magic word is belief, and it's self belief, and you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, great. Yeah, this believing in ourselves is very, very important. Actually, we don't have it, nobody other can believe us. Yeah, but it's like our manifestation. When we manifest outside our self-doubt, we are just attracting. Yeah, people the same. They don't believe to ourselves. They don't believe to us as well. So it's great advice. Yeah. And the last question, Matthew. So image, you have superpower to make a rain. You are a rainmaker. And it's a lovely sunny day, and you make rain and a beautiful, huge rainbows in the sky. And everybody who is ready receive your message, just looking at this rainbow, receiving all the energy, all your information. What message you will put in this rainbow, please?
Well, I like to do things in three, so I'm going to leave with three things. It's funny how many times, how many things you can put threes into. I'm sure if you thought about it for a little bit, you can come up with a few yourself. But yeah, I'll leave with three things. And the first thing is breath work. Breath work is awesome. When we start our life, the first thing we do is take a breath, and if circumstances are right, the last thing we do when we leave this world is breathe out what we have. And for most people, it's an automatic feature and we don't even think about it. But when you know that you can manually affect your body, your chemistry, your physiology, your alkalining, your blood, it's such an awesome thing to get into, breath work. And I can give an example. So, for example, my 9-year-old son, he has a really difficult time with his speech. So he's not at the level yet, he's getting there, but very hard time of explaining how he feels through words. So what do we do when we can't say things through words? We get emotional about things, and for him, he gets into a real state with his emotions, and it's a terrible thing to see. But we've come to a program now that me and him work out with each other, and we'll sit down and we'll take huge 3 big deep breaths and breathing in and just letting it go. And when we go up to that third breath and after that's done, it's like nothing even happened. The breath, like just the way that you can change your states just through breathing, it's fantastic. Now for me, Wim Hof, and we do a lot of Wim Hof breathing exercises within our group, but there's so many different things that you can explore with breathing. So number 2 is meditation. I don't know why schools don't teach kids how to meditate, honestly. And meditation for me has been one of the biggest asset tools in my life. So, there's been situations there where I'll be here meditating, but I'm not here, if you know what I mean. And my body is just, every cell in my body is just vibrating, and it's just this weird feeling, weird but great feeling. And I'll leave a little story for meditation, and maybe your viewers and people can get a clearer understanding of meditation the way I perceive it through this little story. So when you meditate, when you sit down and close your eyes, every time you do that, there's a big locked door in front of you, and you get presented with a keychain of keys that has a heap of keys on them. Now those keys represent practice, and the only way you truly get good at meditation is through practice, like anything in life. So you're going through these keys with practice, and when you finally reach the generous present moment, you find the right key and you put that into the door and it opens up. And when you're truly present and walk through, your life changes forever. So meditation, guys. Look, and we focus on Dr. Joe Dispenza a lot throughout our group, and it's because he's just had the most phenomenal change for me with meditation. So the last one is change. Number 3 is change. Now, for people watching this today, they're probably looking at me that have known me in previous years and think, who the hell am I watching or listening to? So if anyone can attest to change, it's me. And anyone can truly change if they want to change. And we're not hardwired, and we're not. So we go through a little procedure of change here in the group that I formulated not long ago, and that's 3 from 3. So what that is we have 3 things that we want to bring into our life and 3 things that we want to get rid of. And we want to start small. We don't want to have too big of things to accomplish, because what happens is you bite off more than you can chew. So starting small and seeing that working, then you can work on a bigger thing once you've done. So we have 3 things that we want to bring in and 3 things we want to bring out of our life. And every day we'll write them down. So it could be just like a notebook or on a piece of paper. And we're writing them down for 3 weeks, which is, there it is again, 21 days. 21 days we're formulating habits. Now the act of doing that, the writing down each day and keeping yourself honest with a clear intention and an elevated emotion, starting doing this, thinking to doing to being, you'd be amazed with what kind of results you get just from doing this simple practice. So have a go for yourself. I want people to join our group for the future. I don't know everything. I need help with certain things. I'm only explaining the knowledge from my standpoint. I'm sure everyone thinks and thinks differently. So if you think that you can contribute, or you'd like to have a look at the information that's available on the page, please join. I'm sure Mira will help me with a link for the group once we've finished up this podcast. But yeah, all about awareness, this group, and all about knowledge and helping people understand that there's so much more to life. And look, for some people, they might not be ready yet for this change or experience, and everyone is different and they take their own time to get there. But when they eventually do and discover what kind of benefits there are from breaking the habit of being yourself and creating your own future with your own viewpoints and not being susceptible to a program, that's when the magic begins. And when people are truly ready to jump on board, we're waiting.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I love your messages, and of course I will share your contact. And definitely breath is very, very important. Actually, without it we can't live, but we take it, how you say, like normal. We breathing automatically. But when if we can pay attention and really breathe deeply, everything can really change, because when it is like our energetic system is becoming calmer, and we can bring awareness to all our levels, mind, body, spirit, and breathing for me actually is the best tool for solving all, because really actually our emotion are deeply connected with breath. When we are nervous,
Absolutely.
stressed, our breathing is shallow, but when we deeply in, and mindfully, it's absolutely the best way, the quickest way. And it's great you offer this opportunity people, to learn this amazing approach, which I know a little bit about, but I think it's it's one of the best, let's say. And I do believe that you will attract the right people. How you say, not everybody is ready. We are different. We have different journey towards our goals. But I do believe, that you will attract the right people who are ready to do this huge leap over and starting to use methods which you are offering.
And look, the breath is beautiful, especially in the sense of meditation. We talk about the breath and returning to the breath. Your breath is the anchor within the meditation. So, and look, it's not just Wim Hof, it's all these kind of different methods and techniques that we can learn. And once you start to realize that you can influence your body, you can also influence your mind and also your soul. So, the breath is beautiful practice to get into, breath work.
Definitely. And especially in these times, when people are stressed and it's a lot of fear and anger, and some of us are feeling like victims about, but we are actually creator. And this we can realize using all these techniques. I know it's not so easy, but when we are ready, and I think this is great opportunity to starting to work with you, that people can realize, no, we are not victims. We create our own life. We are here to be happy and to follow our true calling. So,
Well, as my mentor, Dr. Joe, would say, your personality creates your personal reality. So, yeah, spot on, Mira, 100%.
okay. Do you want to add anything, or?
Yeah, look, I just want to say to yourself, I love what you're doing and I love what you're bringing. I've been watching your previous podcasts with people on the show and it's been inspirational. And we are all on the same page, and it's about awareness and human potential and self belief. Look, we are all creators and we create everything in our life, whether it be good or bad or in between. And we must work towards creating our best versions of ourselves and our best lives. And yes, I just want to thank you for continuing to bring awareness to everything good in the world.
Thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. It's my pleasure, actually. And I think it's always like on both sides, and it's great. We have this opportunity now, that we can spread our knowledge and our expertise and our missions everywhere where we can. So I do hope we can have other talk and we can work together to support others and to support each other. Thank you very, very much, Matthew. Have a lovely day.
Thank you for having me, Mira. Appreciate it. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.